You hear that rain? It's raining in LA. You know what that means?
Floods.
No. It's going to be a funeral for Georgia this weekend. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a very special episode of the Waterboy podcast. Today it is episode number 78, and it is the Civil War between the Tulane Green Wave and the USC Trojans. We have been conjuring this matchup since week 6. We've been speaking it into existence. Existence is here now. The present day is here. We are now 5 days away from the game.
5 or 6.
We are now 5 days.
6 days?
Might be 6.
6 days.
Fuck. 31.
Technically,
on the second. So add 2.
But technically, if we're uploading this on Thursday.
I think it's 6 days away.
We're also uploading this on Thursday, which is the 29th,
which would be 4 days.
4 days away. Yeah, we can do some math. 4 days.
We got that right.
Yeah, there we go.
I think we got that right. I'm not gonna double check that or anything, though. We're not here for math. There's also some other very special parts of this episode. The Ohio State of the Union, potentially the last Ohio State of the Union of the year. My Ohio State Buckeyes, we weaseled our way into the playoff, and we're taking on the Georgia Bulldogs this Saturday night in WrestleMania. It's going to be insane. This is Brock Lesnar versus the Undertaker, and we're looking to end the streak right here. Can we do it? No one thinks we can.
I think you can. Although you need me to continue.
I don't know, Everett. Sounds like according to you, we have the worst defense ever.
No, that's
on
USC.
Par with a freshman football team from South Dakota. So
that'd be USC's defense, but you're pretty close.
Oh, so North Dakota. Okay.
Yeah.
At least we get some respect.
At least you got some respect.
But yeah, and then of course we got the picks in the end. And I counted it all up. You beat me. You beat me on the picks. I want to congratulate you. You went on a 2-week big time slump.
Yeah.
But regardless of you beating me this week, I have now moved on to 60% pick accuracy on the season, Everett.
Wow. Okay, I'll give you a little round of applause.
I mean,
little round of applaud. I'd say that's
come on.
Good.
Come on.
That's pretty
60%.
Damn good, right? 60%.
Come on.
I feel like that's. I mean,
this is my first. This is our first year of
actually picking every game.
I counted you're up. You're at 57.9%. 50.
Okay. So I'm a little bit behind,
which is still very good.
Still mostly above.
I was expecting 52, 53.
Yeah, I am 139.
You want me to be completely honest? I was expecting that. I've been pretty impressed with us.
To be fair, I had a stretch where I was not remotely close to getting any games right. I started out the season, I think 6-7 the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, no, you did not have a great start. You bounced back. You took an L first couple of weeks and you bounced back.
Yeah,
I can respect that. But before we get into the Civil War breakdown, Everett, some more transfer portal news just came out. Sam Hartman, the quarterback for Wake Forest, highly touted preseason. We all know who he is. He has not officially entered the portal yet, but he is rumored to go to Notre Dame. So last time I checked, you cannot contact players until they have entered the portal.
Yes, that would be illegal.
This would be tampering. Literally,
yes,
they give out fines in the NBA for this shit. Notre Dame's doing it just right now in broad daylight. Nobody gives a shit. So I'm not here to bash Notre Dame, though. No shame on you guys. Do what you got to do. Even though Sam Hartman's definitely an upgrade over Tyler Buckner, who would potentially be their starter next year. We remember TB from the start of this season, but Sam Hartman's definitely an upgrade. But still, Sam Hartman, Notre Dame, I don't know any quarterback that would thrive in Notre Dame's offense right now. I don't. And honestly, also, I mean, Sam Hartman's an upgrade over Tyler Buckner, but I'm not really sure what the fuck exactly Sam Hartman's going to be doing to take Notre Dame to the next level. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong. Notre Dame plays Ohio State week 4 next year. So
you get another matchup.
We'll find out. Yeah.
You get a rematch.
But my big takeaway from this is Notre Dame's just clearly fucking cheating, tampering, zero fucks given. They don't care.
You know what? Ohio State should learn.
Ohio State, why do we care about being these morale fucking we hold ourselves to higher standards. We play by the rules. There are no rules. There are no standards right now.
They don't exist. They're gone.
So whatever, even though a majority of us can think to ourselves that there are some rules that should be in place and some moves that are shady to do, and we're thinking it and we're seeing it with some of these NIL deals too. Ohio State, start fucking doing it, because no one's getting punished for it. They're getting rewarded by not being punished for it right now. They're essentially being rewarded for doing it. That's what the game is now. So Ohio State start cheating.
I won't lie. Like, it kind of
it's not a good thing, but
it's not a good thing at all.
It isn't really not for Ohio State, because they're not doing
also
it.
Really,
but from the USC fan perspective, they're doing dandy at it right now. Everett, a little birdie, has told me that USC is currently contacting Marvin Harrison Jr., offering him $7-figure NIL deals for next season, like they did with Jordan Addison when he was at Pitt, to get him to come to USC.
So does that make you scared at all, considering Ohio State's program?
No. Marvin's not going to go to fucking USC. If anything, I actually applaud USC for doing this, because this might, maybe, I doubt it, but it might get USC to start, or Ohio State to start being like, okay, fuck, now we actually need to start putting NIL. Like, regardless, like, Marv is not going to USC. Also, they've been contacting Trevion Henderson. Neither of them are going to go to USC.
You could probably,
but they're both getting big on NIL packages.
I'm not going to lie. You probably be fine if Trevion left, though, right?
No, I don't give a fuck if Trevion left. And also, from the USC perspective, I don't want Trevion Henderson. But they're both getting bigger NIL packages.
That is if Cardale actually figures out.
Well, the thing is, once on campus, they do get those bags, like Garrett, JSN this year, like CJ Stroud, like all those guys, Olave, they all got nice NIL deals once there, but it's the freshmen who aren't getting paid, and that's the problem. Like those are the recruits we need. So if they're getting paid, fuck, it might be like $20,000 right now, but by what it sounds like, at that point, it's like, all right, we're not even paying them. Like, at that point, we're gone. Not paying them money.
At that point, they're gone.
Yeah, but it's like only once you're there for a couple of years, you get your bag at Ohio State for now, which is what NIL was probably initially supposed to be.
Yeah,
but that has spiraled to a different. I guess I'm not really sure the word.
They needed to get their rules a bit more together before they did that.
But yeah, I mean, NIL's a little whack. Ohio State, we got to start cheating, boys. But yeah, let's start talking about the games. Enough on the transporter bullshit. I'm done. I'm done thinking about it. It's been an interesting month.
We'll have more time to talk about it too, anyways. But there's some more important tasks at hand right about now.
So, Civil War, Everett, USC versus Tulane. You famously said after, I don't know, like week 8 or 9 this year, I'm done talking about Tulane for the rest of the season, but I'm not letting you finish talking about Tulane, brother. Tulane versus USC, Everett. Why is the Tulane Green Wave going to, is this your first New Year's Six Bowl appearance?
Yes, we did play in the Rose Bowl in 1932, I believe, but I don't know if you want to count that.
Yeah, I'm not sure if we're gonna look at that one. I'm not sure if the forward pass was invented in 1932, so I'm not really sure.
I think the goalposts were still in the entrance of the end zone.
Yeah, it might have looked like Canadian Football League back at that time. Face masks were not a thing yet.
It was still leather. It was still leather helmets. Yeah, that was when we were in the SEC, by the way. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, Tulane was the class of the SEC at the time.
Yeah, I think we also played. We might have played USC in that game, by the way, in that Rose Bowl game. We might have been playing USC.
So is this the second matchup all time? Maybe.
I guess
that's something we probably should have looked up before we did the Civil War.
But you know what? It's fine.
Fuck it. Waterboy Analytics. This is the second matchup in the history of Tulane USC. It's been 90 years since the first matchup in 1932. In that first matchup, quarterback for Tulane, Lefty Dickstrong, famously threw a 86 yard pass. It was the first ever completion in the history of football. Lefty Dickstrong. Look it up, ladies and gentlemen.
USC went on to win that game.
USC did go on to win that game 59-8, though. No, I'm kidding. But I have no fucking clue. Probably have never played ever.
Zero idea.
Zero clue, but for the memory of Lefty Dickstrong.
It probably would be, yeah. I mean, he is a legacy player, to be fair.
No, yeah.
Hall of Fame caliber.
Famous everything, but there's no other way to start this off than going over the opt-out. So no Jordan Addison.
Yep.
Caleb Williams, I'm pretty sure, is playing in this game. However, if he doesn't play, I'm even more confident in the USC Trojans because Miller Moss is better than Caleb Williams.
I would say Waterboy, former Waterboy guest. However, that episode is
it's in the vaulted files.
It's in the vaulted files because of problems.
Yeah,
we'll put it that way.
Difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
Blame the producer for that episode. He really fucked up. Fucking dumbass, whoever that guy is. But Tulane, USC, Everett, Jordan Addison's the only opt out that I actually know, to be completely honest.
Yeah, you guys also have a lineman, I believe. Either is I think it's one of your guards opted out as well. I think he had an injury and would not be.
Oh yeah, Andrew Voorhees did opt out. I'm seeing if Tui Peloto opted out. Did he opt out? I'm gonna assume he didn't.
I believe those were the only two.
Oh, I don't think he can. Oh no, undecided. Waiting until after Cotton Bowl to announce, so he will be playing in the game. So yeah, Jordan Addison. Who are your opt-outs?
We don't have any.
No opt-outs for two. Now
that's
the sign of a team. That is the sign of a strong team, a strong-willed team, a good unit, a unit that you may or may not be a part of. Currently,
I am currently a part of.
Well, I was gonna say something else. Currently, a lot of people are liking this Tulane +2, and I'm talking sharps, and I'm not talking the public. Okay,
yeah, I got you.
You see a USC -2, and you'd assume
that they're slamming it.
What the fuck?
Right?
USC easy money, right? Now that makes me very concerned from the USC fan perspective that the line is this close. The casual dummy is just thinking to themselves, anyone going up to a fucking, I don't know, punching in your gambling ticket at like a casino or wherever the hell you do it, you would be looking at, I have no idea how the fuck it works, but let's just say there's a giant big board of just all the games and bets. You'd see the USC -2 and you'd be fucking pushing over people, getting to the fucking front counter, spending your entire life savings on USC -2.
Put it all in.
The take my money Simpsons meme, literally all of it. But obviously Vegas always wins. This makes me a little stitious, not superstitious, but a little stitious about what's going on. So, Everett, do you want to start, or am I going to start? Why USC's gonna win? Are you gonna start?
I'll let you go first because I know that you're gonna be wrong.
I'll go first. I will go first.
Argument.
First thing to start off with my extensive knowledge on the Tulane football team. I've watched a lot of tape on you guys. My favorite tape to watch was the Southern Miss game and the UCF game, the one that you lost. Those are my favorite ones to watch.
Okay.
And
okay.
Those are the personal favorites that I had back in my catalog.
Okay. Yeah,
but
definitely not just looking at the ESPN list. Yeah, definitely just not looking at the ESPN win-loss column. But I got you. Okay.
I don't use ESPN to look at my standings personally. I use Yahoo stats.
Okay, I'll let you finish before I say anything.
Sorry, you wanted to go on?
No. You got it. You.
I thought you said you wanted to say something before.
No.
I was like, oh shit! I guess it's your time to talk.
I'll let you finish before I say something.
Okay. Thank you. That was very grown up of you. So for USC we'll start with the offense first. This is a much easier subject to talk about. Okay. So for the USC offense, it's kind of do what you've done all year and don't get Caleb Williams hurt. Those are the recipes to success. now many people can speculate if Caleb Williams doesn't get hurt against Utah in the Pac-12 championship game, maybe that outcome looks different. We can at least say for the USC offensive side, they likely would have put up some more points. Maybe the final outcome of the game would have been the same, but at least for their offense, we could definitely assume it would have gone a little bit differently. So priority number one is keep Caleb Williams safe. Now, right guard Andrew Voorhees, preseason All-American, he's opting out for this one. And also, their center got banged up against Utah in that last game, which also shaked up some things. So missing your center and then your All-American preseason guard, not ideal. Not an ideal scenario for the injured Caleb for this game. Definitely not great. But yeah, you're just gonna have to pray that Caleb stays healthy, because I'm not sure how healthy he is right now. It seemed like he had a non-contact like hamstring injury. Like I'm pretty sure
that's what it looks. He just
it was like on a running play and it was non-contact. I might have been hamstring. I'm assuming it was. I think it was.
It was a hammy.
But I mean, Jackson Smith and Jigba tore his hammy week 1. He's out for the year. So we'll see how Caleb recovers from that one. I'm praying for you, brother. But once again,
he didn't tear.
Put Miller Moss in. That's the best case scenario. Now, in terms of the receivers, throw the ball to Mario Williams. If no Jordan Addison, throw to the guy you brought over from Oklahoma. Throw to Mario Williams, my favorite player on the team other than Miller. Throw the ball to Mario. Throw him the fucking ball. I don't know. I don't know what's been going on. It seemed to me early on in the year, and I know they weren't playing as great of talent, but when Mario was able to hit those intermediate deep shots, Jordan was getting the consistent underneath screen routes and shit. That seemed to me like a very effective offense for USC start of the year. So, I mean, Mario, you're going to have to take your shots with him. Or else I feel like their offense might get a little stagnant. And then last thing, they're running the ball pretty well, even though Dye has gone out. But with the center and guard injury, that's just a big wrench thrown in the mix, if you get what I mean. So with that, I mean, it's more of an O-line thing than a running back room thing. We're just gonna need to pray that there's great communication up front between center and the new guard. That's my offense though. On defense though, oh sweet baby Jesus, we're gonna need Jesus Christ himself to come down and save this defense. If I was Rick Caruso, I would have personally fired Alex Grinch about 4 weeks ago myself, but that time has passed. Clearly, he's still on the staff. Alex Grinch, thank you for putting Ohio State in the playoff, but goddamn, as a USC student, you fucking blow, dude. Get off the team. He's awful. Grinchy, that defense, I've just never seen just a team quit and give up like that. It's like the second Caleb got hurt, they were like, oh, well, we're not keeping us in this game. Fuck it. We're folding over and dying right here on the field. So there's literally no way in a month for them to just suddenly resurge their mentality on defense and just suddenly just start playing to an elite level on defense. So yeah, no, they're going to need God. They're going to need God to get anything done on defense, because I mean, they can't tackle. Yeah, it really, can't tackle. I was going to say they can't cover and shit, but the other day, can't tackling is the worst thing out of all of them. If you can't tackle, it's going to be really, really tough getting them off the field. It's going to be really tough making two-lane punt when you can't tackle Tajay. So, yeah, we're going to need the spirit of Moses. I don't know.
I think you don't want Moses. Moses parted the Red Sea. So I mean, that means that it's going to be even worse.
I maybe if we could part your O-line, get a free path to
yeah, have fun trying to do that against Sincere.
Maybe I don't know. I don't know
against Sincere.
Hey, I'm just saying. I was just talking out of the defense, and now you're getting immediately hostile. I could get hostile. I can immediately clap back. But hey, I'm not doing that because I like Tulane. But trust me, dude, you don't want me to bring up Southern Miss right now. I think they're like, I think they're like 0-59. Or sorry, 1-59. They beat you guys.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. It's my turn. All right.
Wait. Introduce yourself though. Your official name.
Oh, what?
Everett
what?
the Joker. Takes.
Yeah. How do you do?
Is that 10 of spades?
Spades.
Any significance behind that card? Did you have... No?
Well, I mean, technically I was born in October. That's the month of 10. But 10 high. It's the highest card you can get with that. It's not a face value, to be fair.
Yeah, I don't play those card games and stuff. I just stick to sports betting. I don't do that games.
Well,
bullshit.
No, you don't.
I do real games.
Bet. You don't bet.
No. But I'm saying once I get into that game,
you don't.
I'm not going to waste my time. I'm not going to waste my time doing something where I actually have input in it. We're putting it all up to the boys on the line. All up to the guys on the field.
All right. So here's the deal. All right. USC has major opt-outs. Jordan Addison out. Center's not an opt-out, but he's injured, out. Voorhees, their guard, out, right? Already had problems with the offensive line. We saw that exposed versus Utah twice, by the way, when they lost to Utah twice by multiple digits of points. Okay. Tulane also has the only two games that they lost, both were by one score, and it wasn't because they weren't playing.
The first game USC lost to Utah by was by 1 point off of a 2-point conversion.
What happened in that second
Utah.
game? What was the score of that second game?
I'm just saying you said they lost by multiple times twice and then proceeded to like go on a statement saying like both of Tulane's losses have been single digit, but
both of Tulane's losses
first loss was by 1 point.
Okay, both of Tulane's losses have been by one score.
But hey, anyways, your point trying to shun USC there doesn't work.
One of USC's loss was by multiple digits to the same team. Tulane has not lost to the same team twice this year. Anyways.
Okay. True. But
anyways, also that loss,
Caleb
by the way,
was hurt in that second. I mean, sure.
If we want to go back through these two losses by Tulane, by the way, first loss versus Southern Miss, coming off an emotional high game versus K-State in K-State. Next week they have Houston, which is their first interconference play. So we're focused on that. Look at that game. Will Hall, the head coach for Southern Miss.
Oh my God. I'm sorry, but I just saw Marshall Howe on the TV. I'm sorry. That's cool. That was my middle school quarterback, who was also fucking awful and lost us to 7th grade shit, by the way. An awful decision by our 7th grade flag football coach having him be quarterback. Anyway, go on.
Anyways, yeah, so...
Yeah, I just took a jab at a Wisconsin quarterback.
Southern Miss's head coach was Tulane, our old OC. So there's stingence in that. Tulane, I mean, we were just focused on the next week, and we still only lost by one score when we came out in the second half and kind of shut out Southern Miss. We just needed to come back and couldn't get it done, couldn't get the onside kick, even though it was there. Didn't execute on a lot of fields, to be fair, so we did lose the game fair and square. UCF, the first and only loss that we had to UCF, by the way, didn't lose that game fair and square because the refs decided to power trip and make impact plays for UCF to win and try to cheat their way down to a victory for the AAC. That didn't happen because we beat them in the championship game anyways. But yeah, don't really know what much else to say there. Otherwise, I mean, we let them score twice really easily first half. After that, it was really hard for them. We were coming back, and then the refs just decided to play God. Anyway.
So keep going.
Those two games aside, because honestly, same record, whatever, 11-2, 11-2, who cares about the losses, right? We're looking at this game. Tulane has one of the best defenses in college football right now. I believe they're overall ranked 16th in college football in Division I. USC, on the other hand, does not. Their defense is basically Swiss cheese, as you said themselves. They need the power of God on their side in order to stop Moses. Sorry, in order to
thank you
to stop Tulane's offense. Okay. On top of that, specifically looking at these two values, right? All right. USC is specifically, not only have they let up 150 rushing yards per game, which is great for our rushing offense with Tajay. They've let up 270 yards per game on average. Now we can We can run, but we also can be lethal in the passing game whenever we want to. We got Deuce, Shea, and Quan, all of them equally lethal. Deuce has mossed people this season, and you will see that again. He's gonna go on top of one of your guys' corner.
Which one's hurt? Isn't one of them hurt?
No.
One of the Watts?
Oh, but he's been out the entire season.
Oh.
So I mean, talking about the USC's defense, absolutely garbage. Tulane's offense is going to run on them. So basically, this game will come between USC's offense and our defense. And on paper, we have a great defense. Not going to say that it's going to absolutely shut down USC's offense, especially if Caleb Williams there, because we have typically struggled against rushing quarterbacks. I will be honest with that. You can look at UCF, what they did. Most of the quarterbacks we played this season when teams have been very competitive with us were rushing quarterbacks. With that said, though, we have two of the best corners in college football right now, Jarius Monroe and Lance Robinson, both two great corners, making Clarksman great in the slot. Linebackers, great. Defensive line's been getting great. If we can get pressure on Caleb Williams, it's even better for us. So on paper, I think everything matches up perfectly well for Tulane to win and definitely to cover. I don't really know what else there is to go about it. I think that it's going to come down to Tulane's defense versus USC's offense. And if USC's offense can't keep up against ours, it's going to be a pretty done deal. I think it's going to be a high scoring game either way, though.
Do you got numbers on how many shootouts Tulane been in this year? So I guess we can consider. Is there any game that we considered a shootout?
Cincy, you could technically count as a shootout.
27-24, dude. No. UCF maybe? The first
Which
time,
one? The first
maybe
time?
the second time? Not really the second time because it was scored 28. I guess you could say the USF 45-31 to a degree.
Houston also technically went to OT if you want to count that a shootout, even though it's a low score.
That's not a shootout. I'm talking 40-point games because USC is in.
I mean, the thing about
I played in like 50-40 games this year.
The thing about a shootout, though, is you have to look at it by how many points the other team scored, because we've scored multiple games where we've had almost 40 or more points, but the other team hasn't come close.
I'm just counting how many times USC has been in what I would consider a shootout scenario. UCLA 48-45. Cal 41-35, Arizona 45-37, Utah loss 43-42.
But here's my thing. Like, if you want to
That's what I'd consider them. But okay, I'm also going to count the times USC has put up 40 burgers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 940 burgers this year.
But how many points has the other team scored? And two, what teams were those against? Because I guarantee you one of them, though multiple of those teams probably didn't have the defense that we Tulane have.
I mean, true, but I also want to counter saying
what? Like, if you want to talk about that, look at the teams that we played that
if you're giving up 38 given up to UCF.
That first game, yeah.
And 31 to USF, we can agree USC can probably move the ball then.
Okay, you want to talk about that? Look at Cincy's offense, 24 points. They have very prolific offense this year. Second matchup with UCF.
Cincinnati, prolific. Okay, you're the one who's been shitting on Cincinnati all year.
Yeah, I have been shitting on Cincinnati. Their quarterback has not been good, but that doesn't mean their offense hasn't been playing well.
Offense, bro. Everett. Let's chill.
Look at the second matchup with UCF.
I'm looking at their quote unquote prolific offense right now. That averages 4 yards a carry and threw for 21 passing touchdowns. That sounds like fucking horseshit to me.
Look at
now. I'm not trying to knock Tulane from this angle here. I'm not trying to knock Tulane from this, but take the wins that are on the table. Don't build up a Cincinnati win here.
Look at K-State held to 10 points.
Now, K-State was a very, very impressive win.
Look at Houston.
This is something that we have been talking about, though. Early season games, we look at those a little bit differently. Kansas State, week 3 is much different than Kansas State now.
They're healthier.
Now it looks very great. Tulane's resume. Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong.
Houston. Look at ECU.
I do want
Get
to
SMU.
seriously ask you though. I think that you think Tulane's played a tougher schedule than USC this year.
Overall, no. I think USC has probably played a tougher schedule just by the base of like the conference there, and they played Notre Dame, they played UCLA, they played Utah twice.
Okay, actually, thank you. You've actually brought up an even better argument for me. Let's look at the marquee wins this year. You guys got Kansas
I don't
State,
care about marquee wins.
Houston.
Who cares about marquee wins? I understand that's
teams play against their top competition. That has to matter.
There's a difference though, because one that's useful in rankings. I understand.
Okay, I'm sorry, but we're about to get into this Ohio State segment in a second, and I'm really excited for you to knock Ohio State saying they got pooped on by Michigan. And we're gonna come back to this. We're going to come back right back to fucking this. So I hope you keep that same fucking energy in about 10 minutes.
These marquee matchups.
I hope you keep that same fucking energy, Everett.
Look, you want to go and talk about marquee matchups? If you look at both of them,
I'm just saying, you have to.
Tulane has won.
You have to look at how they play against their biggest matchups.
Tulane has won every single one of their biggest matchups.
I'm just saying,
if you want to argue about that first loss for UCF, look at the second loss. Their second loss for UCF. I guess technically the first loss for UCF. The win for Tulane, we came back and beat the shit out of them like we should have done the first time. All right. So you want to look at all the marquee wins. Okay. I understand that USC has played more talented teams, right? And they probably have gotten wins against those more talented teams. They've also lost major games to other teams that are definitely not as good. So, I mean, I guess it's just Utah.
Wait.
It's just Utah.
What do you mean teams are like not as good?
I mean, like if you want to look at it, it more so just meant.
I think Utah is better than USC this year.
I mean, clearly they are. That's kind of my
shown
point.
It.
But I more so meant just specifically looking at it, right? You want to argue Tulane. Obviously, we lost versus UCF. We lost versus Southern Miss. Southern Miss trap game, that can happen. Okay, we're still Tulane. We're playing in the AAC. Okay, we don't have the same amount of abilities to do stuff that USC does, but that doesn't mean that we're not going to play harder and better and want to win this game more. And that also is down to it.
We already went over that angle. I just feel like this angle you're coming at me now.
But also, like you want to talk about the biggest games that both of our teams have played in, the biggest games this season.
Well, I mean, you're the one who just brought it up.
But you want to talk about those marquee matchups? Okay, biggest game that USC played this season. Oh, right, they lost to Utah again. Biggest game of the season.
We could say that, but also
biggest games.
Two games before that against UCLA and Notre Dame, were those not big games?
but guess what? Everything was on the line. Everything
was on the line against UCLA and Notre Dame. If they lose those, they're out of the playoffs. Yeah,
but guess what? You could have something happen. TCU loses something like that. You can have abilities that.
If you're 2 loss, you're out.
Is loss.
If USC was 2 loss,
TCU's a 2-loss team.
TCU is undefeated. What are you saying? What?
Oh, I'm Ohio State. Sorry, I guess
Ohio State has one loss.
They're 1-loss team.
Dude, Alabama had 2 losses and
they almost got in.
They almost got in. But there was no chance Pac-12 was getting it with 2 losses.
I'm mixing.
It was do or die
against UCLA and Notre Dame. To be fair, I guess I'm a little frantic.
Yeah, the ace joker over here has been out.
The
gambling.
The headband on this hat's a little constricting to my brain.
Yeah, you came right from the casino.
Yeah, you know me. Okay, but look, you want to talk these win or lose games, okay? Even if you want to argue, okay, USC beat UCLA, beat Notre Dame, right? They still lost the biggest matchup that sent them to the playoffs. You want to talk about Tulane, okay?
No, yes, but hey, you love ref
but
excuses.
Also,
I'm using injury excuse for the Utah loss.
You want to talk about those games, right? Those games down the stretch that matter everything to make it to the championship game, to win, to go to the playoffs, or to go to whatever game is the biggest for your team. Okay, Tulane beat SMU's ass after they dropped 70 with Houston that last week. Okay,
but
next week beat Cincy. Beat Cincy. Week after that,
SMU's like the equivalent of Ohio State playing Rutgers this season. SMU, half their team quit the team.
That isn't false. It's not false. It's not false. But I'm just saying, if you want to talk about those marquee games, both teams, if you want to argue, both teams won their marquee games this year, and those games. But
no, I do think though USC obviously fell short down the stretch. Obviously they did. I also do think.
And also, how do you think a team's going to respond? How do you think a team's going to respond from knowing that they're about to make the playoffs, to when go for the Natty, to now they have to play in the Cotton Bowl, not for a playoff game anymore, and they have to
don't get me wrong. We went over this.
Playing Tulane.
It points towards Tulane winning. Like, I mean, USC should win, but Tulane should win. Do you get what I mean? Do you get what I mean by that?
I understand. Like, you're saying if both teams came out just fires like as the best team that they could possibly be,
I mean, if it was a fucking week 1 matchup, USC should win. But in this matchup, Tulane should probably win. Now, like, even then, no, but yes.
I'm just saying, I think on paper, we stack up very well against any other team that USC could have been playing in this situation. We stack up the best against them. Defense is great.
Stack up the best, as in Tulane's the toughest opponent.
Defense USC. Defense versus offense. Offense versus defense. I think
Alabama is being the toughest opponent in the potential non-playoff team conference field for anybody.
For the Cotton Bowl specifically, though, is what I'm saying.
Sure. I have no idea how the fuck they pick these teams. So fuck.
You think I do?
We're going with that. But Tulane. I'm not sure who. I think if anything, Tulane was the lock, and USC
was the question.
Was the questionable to get into the Cotton Bowl?
Penn State, I could be wrong. I think it was them or Penn State.
Penn State would have been a fun game. Penn State would have been very interesting.
Right.
Physical as fuck.
Right.
Penn State's a fucking good ass football team. But whatever. Penn State's in the Big Ten, and the Big Ten sucks ass. So whatever.
Yeah. I mean, Tulane win this game.
Do I have any final comments on USC this year?
Defense is trash.
Let's hit the portal and let's go after I don't think there's any D linemen in the portal, if I'm gonna be completely fucking honest. But it's like, you gotta fix the front 7, USC. I don't really know. I'm not sure who's available, but I mean, they did little moves recently with Shane Lee and Romello Height. They did try to
get somebody somewhere.
I mean, that sucks. Romello Height getting hurt out for the year. Fuck, that sucks. That dude was in my class 2 semesters ago. Just a transfer from Auburn, just in my coaching class.
You talking about a couple of times, chatting them up.
Very, very funny times. But yeah, okay. I think it's. Do you have any last Tulane comments?
We're gonna win.
Okay.
Cap off a great season.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've all been waiting for. The potential last Ohio State of the Union of the year. I'm going to break it down how Ohio State wins this game. I'll also be going down if I think they will win, which I'm not entirely positive of. But that's okay. That's all right. This is how Ohio State's going to win this game. CJ Stroud, number 1. He needs our favorite term ever. CJ Stroud needs a nut up or shut up.
Oh, yeah.
I know that Braxton Miller, JT Barrett, Cardell Jones, Justin Fields, Terrell Pryor, Troy Smith, even Kenny Guyton. All of them would run through brick walls to pick up a fucking first down if they were playing in a college football playoff semifinal against the number 1 SEC team that you have 0% chance of beating. Okay. Any single one of those quarterbacks would run through brick walls to pick up first downs and win these games. Will CJ Stroud, though? I don't fucking know. All right. This man, if now, let's say with the term dog in him, let's say no matter what, there's always some dog in a person. All right. Now, if we're going to quantify the amount of dog in CJ Stroud, though, it's a 15-year-old dying Chihuahua. Yeah. Okay. It's a 15-year-old decaying Chihuahua who is literally fucking eroding in front of your eyes. Okay,
Yes,
that's
that's
the
what
dog
decaying
in
means.
CJ Stroud.
That is what decaying means.
I'm not sure if we can get like a strong 3-year-old Boston Terrier in there by Saturday night. I'm not sure if we could do that. I mean, fuck, I'd even take like a fucking like a golden retriever dog in there. You know, I'm not asking for a bulldog. Okay, like let's not get crazy here. Just give me something to fucking work with. You know, I'm not asking for a Rottweiler, but you know, I want some fight. Like fuck, I'll eat like a poodle's even a step up from Chihuahua.
Pomeranian, something like that.
That might even be a step up from a now. Pomeranian's literally the most pathetic small dog in terms of fighting. Like
They're
Mike Vick
aggressive,
did
though.
not get Pomeranians. Let me tell you that. That's all I got to say on that matter.
Jesus.
But yeah, CJ needs to get that dog in him. Simple as that. I'm not sure if he can get it in.
Yeah,
him,
I think that if you asked any coach, if you would have any coach to kind of get a fire going in your quarterback, Ryan Day might be the last coach, one of the last coaches I would ask to do that.
He cannot. I don't think he could do it right now. I don't think he could do it. I saw glimpses of it in 2020 and 2019. I just feel like after back-to-back Michigan losses,
Yeah, he can't really do that.
Now he's looking himself in the mirror every morning, questioning.
You need a
my reality
in Ryan Day too. He's kind of.
He used to have some nuts as a play caller.
Yeah, those are gone.
That 2020 Clemson game. Go back and watch that game. Look at the play calls when he throws his deep plays.
Pretty
calls
easy
it on like fucking
have...
1st and 10 and 2nd and 10. Like he's taking shots on ballsy plays.
Pretty
that
easy when
nuts.
you have Justin Fields though, and Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave. So,
I mean, true, but going up against Clemson, going into that game, no one thought they could do that. So
fair point.
But past couple of weeks, Ryan Day, Stroud, many other guys around the Ohio State team have all been saying, you know, they're going to play loose. They're going to come out with no regrets, nothing to lose. You know, don't play stress. Don't play with anything hanging on your minds. Go out there, give it your all. But they've talked all that up. I don't know if we're actually gonna see them walk that walk though.
Yeah, the last time they did that, I remember it going very poorly for them against Michigan. So
yeah, I can't really take too much into hearing all the talk from Ryan Day anymore.
Yeah.
I kind of need to see it to believe it now. But I don't think this team has played their full potential this year. Obviously, I'm a pretty biased fan here. I feel like every fan thinks their team hasn't played their full potential. You could ask any fan of any team.
Yeah.
But I don't think this team has played to their full potential from what I've expected this year. And I mean, just looking at certain position groups preseason, like, I mean, we're going way back, but I thought to myself, best position groups on the team, wide receiver room, of course, quarterback, duh, and the fucking corner room.
Yeah.
Corners have been the worst position group on the team all season. Corners are the worst position group on the team. I thought the linebackers were going to be the worst. They've been the best position group on the defense. The D line, which
who was bro on the D line that was doing pretty well though? Who was the guy on the D line that had that one game? Maybe it was the Penn State game where
JT Tuimoloau.
Yeah, what's he been up to?
It's just like I don't exactly know what's been going on with this Ohio State defense, but the way Ohio State's defense is schemed, they don't let their ends eat. Like, I'm not sure if these guys just aren't ready to eat yet.
The one thing that Ohio State's always been good at, though, is developing their defensive ends. So why are you running a defensive system where you are not using your fucking defensive ends?
I don't think they're them.
I mean, they might not be, but if you want to get any recruits, you like that are gonna.
No, but it's not even that. It's like we did. No, but it's like we did just hit. Like, I mean, right now we have the number 1 and number 3 players in the class of 2020, both DNs. And neither of them have like really fucking hit. If I'm gonna be like, neither of them are the fucking pass rushing. If any Ohio State fan out here is trying to tell me JTT's fucking comparable to a Bosa or Chase Young, shut the fuck up. You don't know ball. that motherfucker's nothing compared to any of those names I just mentioned. But whatever. They just aren't the dogs off the edge like I kind of expected them to be by now.
Yeah.
I thought this whole super sophomore season was gonna hit, but not really. And the interior guys, Tyleek Williams and Mike Hall, I truly believe next year they could be the best defensive tackle duo in the country. Only issue is they get like 8 snaps a game each, and
it's a little bit of a problem.
Fucking Teron Vincent and fucking Baby Hamilton get more snaps than them. But whatever. We'll see how that all pans out. I just maybe it's time for Larry Johnson, who I thought was the GOAT. Maybe it's time for him to go. The Ohio State D-line coach. He did the Bosas. He did Chase Young. He did
you'd let him go. You really want
fucking Tamba Hawley. Like
he made Tamba Hawley.
He did boys. He made fucking
went to
dogs.
Ohio State?
Penn State. He was Penn State and then went to Ohio State. But
I got you.
I mean, he's like literally the D-line guru, like the edge rush guru.
I'm not gonna lie, that's the last dude that I want to let go.
It's just he doesn't really recruit to the same level, and there's been a lot of negative recruiting surrounding him. Anytime there's a D-line recruiting at Ohio State versus like Bam, like this last recruiting cycle, Ohio State missed out on all 3 of their top DN targets.
That's right. You did tell me that.
Like right now, fucking Notre Dame is out recruiting them, and Notre Dame's D-line coach. Oh yeah, this dude Al Washington, who was the Ohio State linebacker coach, who I want in fucking prison for such a fucking awful job that I did 2 years ago. He's out recruiting us right now. So what does that tell you? Yeah, but. That's enough with the mentality. Let's talk logistics because I don't have many. Marvin Harrison Jr. needs to get 12 plus targets in this game, not Cade fucking Stover. Stop throwing the fucking ball to a goddamn tight end. We had a 5-star tight end, Jeremy Ruckert, and he got like fucking 4 targets in his career. Why the hell are we throwing to fucking farmersonly.com Cade Stover tight end? Okay. What the fuck are we doing? We have Marvin Harrison Jr., who's literally going to be a fucking, at worst, top 10 wide receiver in the NFL in 5 seasons. So I don't know why we aren't throwing the ball to him. I don't know. Whatever. Next thing, horrible offensive line matchup versus Georgia's strengths. Okay. Georgia, weak edges, strong inside. Jalen Carter versus Jonathan Jackson is going to be tape that they are going to show to D linemen and guards for the rest of time on what either to do as a D lineman or not to do as a guard. Okay. This tape will be put out on the internet. Like that is manslaughter. When you look up manslaughter, you'll see the tape of Jalen Carter versus Donovan Jackson in this college football championship semifinal. So how do we answer that? Need to get running back chip help in the middle. Mayan Williams, apparently he has like the fucking flu or something. That's, in my opinion, our best run blocking running back. I mean, to be honest, I don't actually fucking pay attention to any of the running backs run blocking ever since Zeke left. I haven't seen any exciting pass blocking from our running backs anymore, so I don't fucking look back there. But Mayan Williams, I'd assume, is our best run blocking or pass blocking running back. Has the flu or some shit, banged up, hurt, whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. We need to get running back chip help on the inside. If Jalen Carter's getting free releases and he's beating Donovan Jackson off the edge, CJ Stroud might literally soil himself on national television. So we need to get running back chip help on the interior. I'm actually not concerned about the edges. Nolan Smith was Georgia's best pass rusher going into this season. He is out for the year. Georgia really doesn't have great pass rushing help. Believe it or not, Georgia, like they aren't generating a lot of sacks. I'm going to pull it up right now, actually. I need to pull it up. It's not very impressive, their D-line, in terms of generating pressure. They need to blitz a lot this year. Okay. Bring extra guys to generate pressure. They aren't able to just run a 4-man blitz and get to the quarterback. Now, also another very interesting thing. Fun fact, Everett, believe it or not, contrary to popular belief, CJ Stroud is the #1 quarterback against the blitz this year statistically, leading pretty much every quarterback in every category against the blitz. So believe it or not,
I have a question for you. Do you think in order to win this game, CJ Stroud has to be able to scramble a bit more and get out of the pocket?
Well, let's start with this. It's not like there's designed runs where he needs to go out and fucking be a Justin Fields.
But I more so mean
yeah. So okay, real
him.
quick for this season, Georgia, their leading sack getter of the season is Nolan Smith, the guy who got hurt with 3 sacks.
Wait,
3 sacks. So their next 2 highest, Jamon Dumas Johnson, who is their next best edge rusher, and then Jalen Carter, who both have 3 sacks. So really, they don't have a player on their team with more than 3 sacks this year. So I just want to throw that out. It's a team. I'm not saying it's a bad defense. Like, they still have many sacks on the season. They have 26. Well, actually, that's not a lot of sacks. 26 sacks through 13 games.
That's not much.
They average 2 sacks a game. That's actually not a lot.
In college, for them being the number 1 team.
So maybe we found something, Everett. Maybe we found something. It just from what I'm looking, Georgia's going to have to blitz to get the pressure on Ohio State. The good thing, though, is CJ Stroud's the best quarterback against the blitz this year. So, I mean, shit. Fuck. I mean, that makes me feel a little bit better about myself, not going to lie.
That just means he's good under pressure, which is really also very good for a situation like this in the game that you're in general. Because if, like, you're good under that kind of pressure, you're probably good underneath other kind of pressure, except for in the Michigan. Not against Michigan, but that's its own thing.
But this goes back to the playing loose thing that we were talking about at the start of the show. I don't know if they actually will do it.
I'm kind of hoping, though, that this being on neutral ground, in quotations, but neutral ground, where it's
in Atlanta.
Yeah, that's why I said in quotations, but neutral ground.
It's another home game. It's literally like the first game of the year, Georgia versus Oregon, the neutral site game in Atlanta.
But since it's on a neutral site, I'm just saying, since it's specifically not a college stadium, like it's an NFL venue.
That doesn't really have much impact.
But I think that might help with psyche a little bit.
I have no idea. I'm not looking into it that much. I really wish that we were playing in the Superdome, because Ohio State's got a pretty nice track record there.
The Superdome?
85 yards through the heart of the South against Alabama, 2014. The first college football playoff ever. Also, just want to say Ohio State's 2-0 as a 4 seed in the college football playoff, folks.
Take it 3.
So I'm not here to say past results are an indicator of future success, but I just wanted to point that out.
History
are 2-0 as a 4 seed. Actually, a lot of 4 seeds have tended pretty well. I actually, this might be a fun fact. I think every 4 seed that has been in the college football playoff championship game has won. Ohio State and Bama, I think, are
the only 2
that have. Yeah.
Interesting.
That have upset 1 seeds. I'm completely off the top of heading that.
I mean, but I know that's the fact for Ohio State. I don't know about Bama, but that does make sense. It does add up.
Yeah, like I know other 4 seeds win.
Yeah,
I just know Bama, they beat 1 seed Clemson, Kelly Bryant, the year that Jake Coker, pretty sure.
Yes,
Bama won.
Yeah.
But last thing I want to say about Ohio State in terms of their defense, I don't. Now, this is another kind of interesting point. So Ohio State, they rank, I think, like in the top 10 this year, in passing yards allowed against tight ends, which is obviously the strength of Georgia's team.
Yeah. That would be a problem.
Now, the thing is, it's like, okay, Ohio State top 10 in yards allowed. In yards allowed, it's like, okay, what fucking like great tight ends have they faced? Notre Dame has a pretty solid tight end, Michael Mayer.
First round.
They took him on week 1. Pick. They did a pretty solid job bundling him up. Pretty solid job. That's kind of been the only tight end they really had to go up against.
But also, like, the thing though, if they look at that, if you look at,
so I'm not really taking that stat with much.
Notre Dame doesn't really have any prolific wide receivers, do they?
Neither does Georgia. Georgia's best receiver is a dude named Ladd McConkey.
Yeah, then never mind. I rescind my point.
Yeah. But it's I just know Stet's gonna do something in this game. Stet's is gonna I can't fucking believe we're playing Georgia. This is like a dream. Like, Georgia is like this juggernaut in my mind that I've just never, ever thought of a reality where Ohio State would be matching up against them, and it's happening in fucking 5 days.
Yeah,
I like this is actually crazy.
I honestly do think though that
They're
Ohio
playing
State.
Georgia, Everett.
I honestly do think though that Ohio State has a pretty good shot.
Okay. I'm not going into this game expecting them to win it.
No.
But I'm gonna be honest.
That.
I am expecting them to fucking put up a fight, and if they don't,
yeah.
I will be crushed. I'll be emotionally.
Yeah, I think a fight will at least be fought. And if it
like I literally like.
If
they better go down, I swear to God,
if Ohio State just
on their first drive,
if Ohio State just rolls over and
for the night,
if Ohio State just kind of rolls over and dies, what do you think happens with Ryan Day?
I don't think they fire him because it's like
they made the playoffs technically.
It's just like it's fucking Georgia.
Yeah.
Now everything changes if Michigan then beats Georgia in the championship game. Actually, I'm not even sure if that changes it. I'm not even sure if that. Because then if Michigan, no.
And that your loss to Michigan kind of counts.
No, actually, there's nothing this year that they can put on Ryan Day to fire him. He's safe. He's safe for the Michigan loss. Well, I'm just thinking outcome of the playoff now.
Yeah.
He's not getting fired. I mean, he wasn't going to get fired this season. Even if they didn't make the playoff, he wasn't getting fired.
Okay.
I want to fire him.
I mean, yes, you want him to go to prison.
I want him in Guantanamo Bay after it. Like, don't fucking get it twisted.
Let's move on to the NFL now.
No, yeah, but they're just gonna need to play big boy ball and just try to limit. Actually, fuck it. Actually, yes, tackle well. Need to limit yards after the catch. That's actually my number one fucking thing. Actually, yes, that's it.
All right. So for the NFL, we have a couple things. I have 2 lists to go through, and we also have our stats from this past week and our game selections for next week.
Yeah. So I went 10-6 on the week. What'd you do?
Yep. I went 11-5. I beat you by 1.
Yep. I'm now 144-96, 60% on the year. You are now 139-101.
Yep.
So I'm gonna be honest, much better than I thought. Both
of us. I mean, it's only a 5-game swing too, which I mean,
really not a lot.
Really not a lot. There is 2 weeks left. You most likely will wrap up the season, but that's barring any unforeseen events. And I'm not going to tarnish my record just to try to get a victory here. I'm going to go for percentage win. Just making that clear as we wrap up the season here.
Oh, so you're not taking any risks?
No, I'm still going to take risks, but I'm still going to go with what my gut feels.
But that's not your goal. Your goal isn't to beat me. Your goal is to beat the system.
To beat the system, yeah.
Got it. Okay. But as the loser, I think it's my time finally to announce the picks again.
Not finally. You did it like 3 weeks ago. Shut up.
No, I'm saying I like doing this.
Oh, okay. You finally, I've been waiting to be able
I've been waiting to lose to you so I can announce these picks. Like, I've been trying to lose to you for weeks now. I'm just fucking good. I'm just so good at these picks that it's just, I'm always winning. Fuck. But okay. Cowboys at Titans, Cardinals at Falcons, Bears at Lions, Broncos at Chiefs, Dolphins, Patriots, Colts, Giants, Saints, Eagles, Panthers, Bucks, Browns, Commanders, Jaguars, Texans. That was just Sunday morning. 49ers, Raiders, Jets, Seahawks, Vikings, Packers, Everett, Rams, Chargers, Steelers, Ravens, and Bills, Bengals, Monday night. Game of the week. My picks: Cowboys, Falcons, Lions, Chiefs, Patriots, Giants, Eagles, Buccaneers, which I hate. Commanders, Jaguars, 49ers, Seahawks, Packers, Chargers, Ravens, Bengals.
Okay, so you're switching.
This is my first time this season picking against the Vikings, by the way. Yeah. I wanted to point that out.
You're going to regret that decision, but that's okay.
Well, hey, you don't want to be on my side. I'm bad luck. Even though I'm better picker than you, I'm bad luck. You don't want me to be on your side.
All right. These are my picks: Cowboys, Falcons, Lions, Chiefs, Dolphins without Tua, Giants, Eagles, Panthers, Commanders, Jaguars, 49ers, Jets with Mike White, Vikings, Chargers, Ravens, Bengals.
Oh, I forgot to say I have an asterisk game on the Ravens if Lamar is not playing. I am going with Kenny Pickett.
I'll join you on that. I will actually join you.
Okay. All right.
I'll join you on that.
Because Steelers are 7-8 right now, and like Mike Tomlin's not finishing sub 500.
Essentially, that game's a scratch because both of us are either taking the Steelers or taking the Ravens. So,
but hey, for the system, we're on that
shit.
shit.
Yeah,
I do think though, Tyler Huntley, give me the fucking Steelers to fuck shit up.
They just haven't.
And also, as a Chargers fan, I want the Ravens to lose. There's a chance Chargers can weasel and get this 5 seed and get a revenge game against Duval round 1.
Really? I'd be kind of scared.
Which would be way better than Cincinnati round 1, bro.
Oh, yeah, no, it'd be way better than Cincy. But also, if you're talking about any of these really low seeds, though, that I would have to play, the Bengals, not the Bengals, the Jaguars.
I'd rather play the Titans than Duval. Yeah, but I'd rather play Duval than the Bengals, bro.
Jacksonville scares me. Jacksonville gives me the vibes of like the.
No, I think Jacksonville is making the playoffs.
Jacksonville gives me Commanders vibe, like Taylor Heineke Commander vibes. That's what they.
So the Cowboys, they play the Titans on Thursday night this week, or I guess today when this episode's coming out. But this game does not matter at all. The Week 18 game between the Titans and Jaguars will determine the winner of the AFC South.
I believe I don't remember what my calculations were specific to, but I think if the Titans lose this game and the Jaguars win, the Jaguars seal it. Because even if the Jaguars lose the final week and they have the same record, there are no tiebreakers between head to head because the Jaguars won the first matchup.
No, I think it has something to do with like the fucking AFC record. Like the winner of that game will have the division tiebreaker too.
Oh, okay. So maybe
it's literally for all the marbles that last game. So like
if I'm the Jaguars, if I'm the Jaguars,
it's a bye week. No, like literally Titans and Jaguars don't play this week. There's actually no point. Now we both picked the Jaguars against the Texans.
Texans have been good lately, though.
The Texans have an incentive to lose this game, Everett. If the Texans win this game, they no longer have the first pick in the draft. So the Texans, they can't win this game, Everett. So I'm still picking the Jags.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that logic.
Like it's a weird scenario where the Jags have nothing to play for, but the Texans are losing by winning this game. So they should not win this game.
Oh, I thought the Titans were a game back, but I guess they're a tied record right now. They're both 7-8. So that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's literally comes down to week 18. Week 17 doesn't matter for them.
I think I also said that last week. So I don't know why I'm contradicting myself, but
I'm not sure if that was in effect last week.
I did say, remember last week I said that the Jaguars-Titans conference will come down to the final game of the season when they match up with each other if the Jaguars win this week and the Titans lose. I said that verbatim last Thursday's episode.
Can't say I remember that one, but I'll take your word for it. We'll go with what you
can go back and scrub through it, but I promise you, I know for 100% accuracy that I said that. 100% certainty.
I mean, my Chargers clinched, so I don't really have much to say about my game. Like
I'll hear. Let's
go out there, give it your all, guys. Fuck it, we're in the playoffs, baby. I don't fucking care.
Now? Get that 5 seed. All right, so I'll talk about my game and then I'll run through my list. We can end with that, unless you want to talk about some of these other games as well.
Oh, Bills Bengals only game.
Yeah, we can go over that.
Who'd you go with? I went Bengals.
Bengals.
Okay.
I thought I was gonna be going with the vibes and like you were gonna go with the Bills because the Bills are like my number one team.
I just had to go Bengals at home. Give me them at home.
Yeah. Okay. So
what's more likely? Bengals. Okay, what's the AFC Championship game matchup this year? Fuck it, we're here. Right now Chiefs are projected. I think they're not. Bills are projected. I think this game determines a lot.
I think that we're gonna have to go back through this when like next week after we have like these final rankings, or maybe in 2 weeks when it actually is for playoff time. That'll be good for Clips. I think
Eagles, Chargers, Chiefs, the 4 best teams in the NFL, dude.
I think yeah, nice one trying to sneak the Chargers in there. I think that it's going to be a rematch of this game. I think it's going to be the Bills and Bengals again if they continue to play this way.
Mate, I feel like the Chiefs, a lot of people have been kind of like downing them recently, and they haven't really been playing.
I agree with that. There definitely are doubts there, and I could see that
they're just the one team that can flip the switch. They're like
It's not
the
even,
only
it's not
team
even the
that can just
team.
fucking
It's
do
just
it.
Patrick Mahomes. And that's the thing, though. It's when you get
But
the playoff
also,
football.
it's like when they need a bullshit fucking turnover, they just get it. Like they just get the ball back to Mahomes.
Yeah.
It's
okay. All right. So for the Vikings Packers game, I know everybody's like, well, it's in Lambeau, and I've said the Vikings.
I'm just fully buying into the idea that the Packers are going to backdoor their way in, and there's not going to be 4 NFC Beast teams in the playoffs. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Because the Packers lose, if you guys win this game, there's a very solid chance of 4 Beasts getting it.
The Lions are still in play. The Lions are still in play.
I think
they're not officially eliminated.
The Lions may be on death's door here. It'd be very funny if the Bears to win this week.
They need to win. The Lions need to win in order to have a shot, right? So this is the thing. They're playing in Lambeau. It is outdoors. I'll give it that. The Vikings have played inside for like the last 4 weeks, including their away game to the Lions. Okay, they haven't been outside in a while since they haven't been in this frigid temperatures.
Well, I'll be honest. I'm not even thinking about that angle. I'm kind of worried you brought that up. That makes me think you might be a little concerned.
I'm a little concerned about temperature. It's a little bit different when you practice indoors, you play indoors, right? You go back outside and play outside. Like it's a little bit different. The ball is harder to catch. It's harder to throw. It's harder to kick.
Fair enough.
Okay, so last time we played, it was in Buffalo. I'm pretty sure
I think we had this debate though, thinking that it might benefit your secondary more than harm your offense.
I think so as well. I agree with that. In all honesty, like I really don't care exactly what happens in this game, assuming the Eagles lock up the 1 seed before we play. I would like to get the 2
the Eagles losing last week really threw a wrench in this shit.
Yeah, I know. So, but the thing is, the Eagles play and they will finish their game before kickoff for our game. So we will know whether or not the 1 seed's available to still play for week 18 at that point. Okay. And I don't count the Saints out for beating the Eagles. It is a possibility. The Saints do some random ass shit every year.
Yeah. Eagles will play the Saints. Oh my God. That'd be such a game. The Saints just fucking win.
Yeah. I also think Jalen Hurts might not be back as well.
I don't think I'm hearing he's having like a sprained AC.
He has a high ankle sprain. That's what the original diagnosis was. Maybe it's different if it's a sprain.
I thought it's throwing arm.
Yeah, it's his shoulder. I'm stupid.
I was about to say
sprain. Sorry, I was thinking about a different person. He has a sprained AC joint, and that normally takes at least, I think, 3 weeks to recover from. I think that's the standard procedure for that. I'm not entirely sure about that, but normally I'm pretty sure it's multiple weeks.
I couldn't tell you, but I would assume he's probably. I mean, what fucking happened with Bryce? Yeah, Bryce Young was back in like 2 weeks. Maybe I just think though, Eagles' perspective, it's not like Minshew sucked. I mean,
no, he's a very good.
Take away the pick six, they put up 27 on the Cowboys. Like, I mean,
that's a good defense.
I'd take that.
Vikings didn't do that.
I would take that.
But look, I think that. Also, I'd like to keep the 2 seed over the 49ers. I'd rather not have to go to San Francisco to play them if we both make it to the second.
That'd be awful. Like that's what I'm kind of looking at more.
That's what I'm looking at, right? So we'll see. We'll end up seeing, right? But the bigger thing is, one, this is the Packers. They're on death's door too. They lose this week, they're out. Okay.
I do think though it's a little bit of a different scenario compared to the Lions, where if you look at where these teams were a week ago or 2 weeks ago, and their playoff hopes compared to now, the Packers have gone up and the Lions have gone down. So I think it's a little different.
No, I agree with that. But if you also look how the
Packers have been on death's door for 2 weeks.
I mean, the Packers always find their way into this situation every year. They manage to do it. But I think that if any team in the NFL, if any team is going to be the one to put that nail in their coffin, knock them out of the playoffs, out of the playoff hopes, it will be the Vikings. The Vikings beat the shit out of them first week. It was the only time that we had a victory by multiple point margin. And I know that that's been stinging.
That is crazy.
I know that's been stinging the Packers probably since then. And they want to knock the Vikings off. They want to give a taste of their own medicine, right? But I do think that
I'm really interested to see how you spin this. How there's no revenge for the Packers in this. I'm really interested to see how you spin this.
But if you look at how the teams stack up on paper, if you look at the way that the teams have been playing lately, if you look at what the Vikings have done lately in comparison to the Packers, both teams have won. Both teams won. But look at who they've been playing. Look at who the Vikings played. Look at who the Packers played. Who has the better victories? Who has the better moral victories? Who has the better stats in those victories?
Moral victories? What are we talking about? What?
Moral
Wait,
victories.
actually, what do you mean by moral victories? Like point margins and losses? Like
no, more so like coming back like against like the Colts and that stuff, like boost your confidence, that kind of thing. The Vikings win all those categories, and they know that obviously this game is not as important to them, and it's super important to the Packers. But who do you not want to see the most in playoff time? Come playoff time, what's your number one?
You guys have
rule?
A positive point differential now.
Mm-hmm. Also, it's plus 72 in the fourth quarter alone. Every other quarter, it's negative. Fourth quarter, it's plus 72. For reference, most teams have a plus 100 differential in total.
Yeah, that is very impressive.
But what's your number one rule about divisions?
Throw everything out the window.
So who's the team that you are least wanting to play come playoff time?
Me?
No,
as a Chargers fan?
Just in general. Who's a team that what team would you least want to face?
Oh, so AFC or NFC, all of the above.
Yeah, just
might still be the Chiefs.
But the point more so was supposed to be you don't want to play a team that's in your division in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
Of course not.
Because even though you have juggernauts, right? You have the Eagles, you have the Vikings, you have the Bills, you have the Chargers, right? Juggernauts.
I guess I proved your point there by saying the Chiefs.
Yeah, you do.
It's Patrick Mahomes that scares me.
Right. You have the juggernauts, right? And obviously you don't want to play the juggernauts, but you're not going to play a juggernaut in the first round unless you're that 7 seed. So if you're going to face another team that's going to be squeaking in, would you want to play a team that you faced maybe one time this season randomly or not at all? Or would you rather face a team that you've already played twice?
Now it depends on the previous matchups of those games. If you're 2-0 against that team, you do not want to play them a third time.
Even if you're 1-1, you don't want to play them a third time. If you're 0-2 and you somehow manage to get in that situation, props to you.
Oh yeah, you want to play them a third time.
But the point, if you're that high of a seed, though, the most likely situation is if you're that high of a seed is 1-1 or 2-0, and you don't want to play them. So I think that the Vikings.
No, I agree.
I think that it would honestly, it wouldn't make them. It couldn't make them any happier. Just to destroy the Packers and knock them out of the playoffs. This is one of those.
Would you rather play the Packers or the Lions in the playoffs?
Lions, I think they dismantled themselves, and I think that the Vikings kind of want revenge after that second matchup.
I was gonna say, be careful with what you say there.
I think Packers, but that's the point. Is I think Aaron Rodgers in the playoffs, the Packers in the playoffs, is a very scary thing. It's a different team, even though they might.
Actually, is it because they suck ass in the playoffs? Now that I think
they suck ass in San Francisco or versus San Francisco, but that's it. They don't suck ass about anybody else. It's just San Francisco. And
I really want to see a compilation of Aaron Rodgers, just his facial expressions after getting bounced from the playoffs.
But I think the Vikings win this one. I think they realize that they need to eliminate this team from the playoffs. Otherwise, it could be scary later on. I think that they want to get this 2 seed wrapped up so that way they can also rest all their starters next week versus the Bears and come into the playoffs well rested, well managed, and healthy.
I also think it's kind of interesting to point out that back in the good old days, this would be the last week of the season right now with like playoff
which means
on the line and shit.
The Vikings.
I was also thinking about it, like if this was the last week of the playoffs, I'm pretty sure
last week of the regular season.
Or last week of the regular season. Yeah, holy fuck. Giants would be clinched.
Yep.
Commanders would not be clinched, but like would have like a slight lead over so many teams. The AFC would be nuts. The Dolphins the
Commanders still
already
have the 7 seed though, so the Commanders control their own destiny. They win and they're in.
No, yeah, but like if the Commanders, even though they're 7-7-1, like if they lose 8-8, you're in over 7-8-1.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't really know where I was going with that, but I was just kind of thinking oh shit, it's weird that this is kind of how the season would end. There's so many 7 and 8 teams.
We've been going for a minute now. Let me get these 2 lists out and we'll wrap up the episode.
Yeah.
Okay, I have 2 lists. First one, We had a request the other week off of our top wide receiver, quarterback, wide receiver list.
Okay, I'm sorry to cut you off, but there are 7, and 8 teams.
Yeah, I know. It's interesting.
I also have a list too, but
you might want to save that one. I think we have enough.
No, I'm giving this one out.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this one's getting published. Oh yeah.
I was gonna say save it for next episode, but all right.
No, this. I mean, unless you think you're good, I can save it. I'll save it. I'll save it.
A little teaser for the viewers.
Top 10 rookies of the year coming up. We'll do it next week. I'll give the rookies one more week to move up and down.
Just to move up and down. All right. Here's my list for the top quarterback.
Let's just say Brock Purdy's in it, bitches. Go on though.
Here's my list for the top quarterback tight end duos in the NFL this year. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews, Kirk Cousins, TJ Hawkinson, Trevor Lawrence, Evan Ingram, Jalen Hurts, Dallas Goedert, Justin Fields, Cole Kmet, Derek Carr, Darren Waller, Brock Purdy, George Kittle, Mike White, Tyler Conklin, Dak Prescott, and Schultz.
Yeah, that one's gonna be fucking amazing. That's. I'm excited for you to upload that one.
Yeah, what do you think?
Trevor Lawrence, Evan Ingram 4. That's great. Where did you put fucking Cole Kmet and Justin Fields?
6.
And then Mike White.
Mike White and Tyler Conklin.
That's gonna get the crowd off their feet. I feel like, I don't know, Justin Herbert, Gerald Everett might have been better than Mike White and Tyler Conklin, but I'm not here to debate that. Gerald Everett didn't get a fucking target last night, and
that's
I
my
got
point.
eliminated from my fantasy. But yeah, okay, next list, Everett. Next list.
Top 10 running backs in the NFL. I made this off a whim on the airplane today with no.
Okay, now when you say in the NFL, are we talking for this season, like last 5 years?
This season. It's always this season.
Okay.
I made this on the airplane with no internet connection, so I had to go off the running back.
What is that supposed to mean? Are you telling me you only look at stats to determine these? Is that what you're trying to...
it means I was trying to remember all the running back names in the NFL and make sure I had the right ones down.
Okay. All right.
All right, here are my top 10 running backs in the NFL this season. Christian McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb, Dalvin Cook, Saquon Barkley, Jonathan Taylor, Alvin Kamara, Tony Pollard, Joe Mixon.
Man, you must hate Saquon Barkley.
I was just thinking about it. He's had a great season, but also some games he's just kind of gotten shut down. And I didn't really know where to put him on this list.
Dude, Derrick Henry had multiple 30-yard games, bro. Saquon gets more of an excuse than Derrick Henry.
I wanted to put Saquon at 4, but I didn't think that.
Man, you can't be doing Saquon like that, man. Oh, you're gonna. I'm mad at that list.
Oh yeah. So what you think? You think it should be Christian McCaffrey, Josh Jacobs, Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb,
I'm not even sure
if
Josh Jacobs is fucking 2. Did you put Austin? Did you not put Eckler in that fucking list?
No. You think that he deserves to be a top 10 running back? He's a receiving back. He can't run.
Bro, he leads the league in rushing touchdowns, bro.
I'm not looking at who's being used on the goal line.
Bro, dude. Mike Williams and Keenan Allen have played 2 healthy games together this year. Who the fuck carried the Chargers offense?
You think that he's better than Joe Mixon?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Joe Mixon? Oh my God. You didn't have Keenan Allen in your top 10
Yeah, Keenan Allen's running back.
Not Keenan Allen. Fucking Austin Eckler, bro. Everett.
You yourself said he's only been above 52 yards twice this season.
Dude, he's a receiving back. Yes.
But that's point of a running back.
Still an aspect.
The point of a running back, though, is running.
Oh my God, Everett.
Running back.
Christian McCaffrey, you're telling me Christian McCaffrey's the best running back then? Shut the fuck up. I just proved your list wrong. I just proved your list wrong.
He also runs. He runs more than Austin Eckler does.
Dude, okay, Christian McCaffrey, 4.5 yards per carry, currently 10th in the NFL in rushing yards, and he is 7 rushing touchdowns. There's Jamal Williams has doubled the rushing touchdowns.
Jamal, you want to count Jamal Williams
bro,
as one of the best running backs in the NFL because he gets used on the goal line?
Dude, McCaffrey only averages 10 more rushing yards than Jamal Williams a game. And I thought Jamal Williams only used on the goal line, Everett.
He is only used on the goal line.
Yeah, and he only averages 10 yards less than McCaffrey, who's the best running back in the league. Boom, roasted.
Yeah, but guess what?
Your
Jamal
list
Williams
fucking sucks. I need to give my rookie list because that one's not going to fly. I need to give my rookie list after that. You're going to need to redo that running back.
I'm not redoing it. That's going up.
Oh, okay, man. But that's the worst thing you've ever. Makes sense. You did it on a whim in 5 minutes. You put no effort into it. It makes sense.
I did put effort into it. I was trying to figure it out.
Doesn't sound like it if you're missing Eckler. Fuck, I'm surprised
so my list is
you got Jonathan Taylor in there. He's been hurt. Like, what the fuck are we doing, Everett?
But he has played. He's been one of the best running backs in the league. Outside of the first
Has he?
Outside of the first 3 weeks.
Has he, though? 11 games, 4 touchdowns?
Outside of the first 3 weeks.
I don't think he has.
Okay, so do I need to go back through and redo it? But I'm not guaranteeing.
I do think you need to redo that. There's some egregious, just non submissions on that ballot.
Just if I redo it, that doesn't mean that Austin Eckler is going to be in there.
It's just that's god awful. Like that's actually god awful. Like god awful. Literally god awful.
Mm-hmm.
Like almost as god awful as saying Kirk Cousins could lead your team to a Super Bowl. Like not quite as bad as that because that's the worst thing ever.
And
that's god awful.
Yeah, okay. And who's the 2 seed this year in the NFC, and who's barely making it in the playoffs in the AFC this year? Right. Okay.
We clinched.
So did the Vikings with Kirk Cousins at quarterback. Also,
what do you mean barely made it in? We just clinched with 2 weeks to go. That's not barely making it in.
Yeah, but also
taking jabs at my team.
I distinctly remember also Kirk Cousins having the most NFL comebacks in NFL history this season. Also leading the biggest comeback in NFL history this season. Not to mention multiple wins in primetime this season as well. And that's all. But
once again,
makes him bad,
when is he done in the playoffs? We'll have to wait and see.
Games.
We'll have to wait.
Games. Yeah.
What has he done in the playoffs, Everett?
Won multiple. What has Justin Herbert done in the playoffs?
Well, he's never made it to the playoffs because he has an incapable.
Because his team sucks. Staff. Because apparently he sucks.
But don't come after Justin Herbert.
No. Because you want to come after Kirk Cousins like that. Just, I mean, he has Justin Herbert in the playoffs. That means he sucks, right? I guess so.
1-3 in the playoffs. That's not multiple playoff wins.
Is that with the Vikings or is that with the Redskins?
That's all right, though. I'm excited for you to publish this running back list.
The one game came against
Josh Jacobs too, man. No,
you can't not say that Josh Jacobs is one of the. No, hold on. You can't say that Josh Jacobs isn't one of the best running backs in the league after the numbers he's put up this year,
dude. But I mean,
Josh McDaniels is ahead.
But if the argument for him being the second best running back is numbers, then why is McCaffrey the best?
Because it's based on skill as well.
Now your whole argument's out the roof. Because if we're basing off skills, then Josh Jacobs is not a more skilled runner than multiple other running backs.
That's the entire factor to it. I said that's influential.
But it's not that McCaffrey is like whatever.
And he also has that too.
So you're telling me that Josh Jacobs 100 more rushing yards than Derrick Henry and 2 less touchdowns makes him better than Derrick Henry, just based on those stats, but the skill aspects, non-ball, like.
Yep.
There's some inconsistencies here, Everett. That's all I'm saying.
So like I said,
I just wanted to point them out.
I did it on the airplane without Wi-Fi, but I mean, if you want to go,
didn't put much effort into it.
I did put effort into it, but it's also a little difficult when you can't fact check things. I was sitting there for I don't know.
I just think that you can make a better list.
Okay, so if you want me to make a better list, then I can go and do that. I'm not going to say that anything's going to change, but also you don't have to go shitting on it saying I didn't put any effort into it.
Well, I mean, no Austin Eckler. That's pretty bad.
I mean, okay. So now Austin Eckler, just because you've been bitching about it, he's not making the list. It's fine.
I mean, that's fine, but I mean, come on.
Just being biased. Saying Kirk Cousins sucks because Austin Eckler didn't make a running back list. Okay.
Well, obviously I'm biased, but I mean, you've been biased in your list too.
How am I being biased?
You've been biased in your list in the past.
How?
You put Kirk Cousins and Justin Jefferson as the best quarterback wide receiver duo.
Yeah, I did, because Justin Jefferson is the best wide receiver in the NFL.
But quarterback wide receiver duo.
Yeah, and whatever difference Kirk Cousins has below other quarterbacks is not much more in difference.
Wait. Are you telling me that there's a larger gap between Justin Jefferson and Stephon Diggs than Josh Allen and Kirk? Say that again.
There's a larger difference between Justin Jefferson and Stephon Diggs than Kirk Cousins and Josh Allen.
Okay.
There you go.
Clip that and post that. Oh, now that's numbers. Now that is numbers. See what I did? Oh, fuck.
I also already said that.
Right? Can you still hear me?
Yes, I can still see and hear you. Let's wrap up this episode. Give your list if you want to give it. Give your list.
Now that is no. We're saving because I just got the extra clip out.
Okay, that's fine.
There we go.
Whatever.
My top 10 rookies list, though, I want to do some work on the back end because I don't think Kayvon Thibodeau should be in it, but I have him in it right now. But I don't think
With that, thank you guys so much for watching, listening. Rate us 5 stars. Check us out at Waterboy Pod on TikTok, YouTube, and on Twitter. Tulane will be playing USC this next was it Tuesday on ESPN at noon Central. Make sure to check it out. We'll catch you in the next episode.
I think it's Monday.
Monday, I guess. Check it out. It's on ESPN. January 2nd. With that, Waterboy's out.